So our today's lecture is only gonna be on inheritance and types of inheritance. So what is inheritance? Inheritance is a mechanism that allows one class, let's say a child class, to inherit the properties and behaviors of the parent class. This allows for code reusability and establishments of relation between the parent and child class, where the child class can extend or modify the functionalities of the parent class. Now, this was the theory of what is inheritance. Now, let's see what inheritance is. So, inheritance is basically inheriting the characteristics or the features of parent into class. Um, for example, let's see our parents. Now, we inherit a lot of stuff from our parents. For example, our looks or our genes, the way our hair looks, our hair color, our hair structure, if it is curly, if it is wavy, if it is straight, that is what we inherit from our parents. Now this is an example of inheritance. Now inheritance is an important concept in OOP. So let's start with inheritance. So there is basically five types of inheritance. First is single, second one is multiple, third one is multi-level, fourth one is hierarchical, and the fifth one is hybrid. So in inheritance, first of all, there is a class, let's say the parent class or the base class. Now, this is where the class has the, let's say, the genes, for example, our parents, and child class are we. Child class, or let's say derived class. The class that are derived from the base class or inherited from the base class or parent class. I hope this is clear. So, parent class is which consists the, let's say, genes or variables or etc. or data, and child class is what inherits that from the parent class or from the base class. I hope this is clear and I'm not confusing you guys here. So let's move in with the type of inheritance. So there are basically five types of inheritance. First is single inheritance, single level inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical, and hybrid. Total five types of inheritance. So let's start with the first one, that is single inheritance. In single inheritance, let's say there is a single parent, or let's say there is a base class, base class, and there is a single child class. So that is what makes a single inheritance. Now let me give you all the basic syntax for single inheritance. Let's say base class, derived derived class, access method, access method, base class. Now this is the syntax for single inheritance, that is the derived class, access specification or access method, and the base class. Let's not see this. This is the syntax for single level inheritance, that is derived class, one derived class, access methods. We have studied what are the access methods in the previous lectures. There are total three types of access method. One is private, the second one is public, and the third one is protected. I hope you all are clear with this one, what is private, what is protected, and what is public. Let's not move into that, and let's see inheritance today. So derived class, access methods, and then base class. This is the syntax for single inheritance. Single inheritance, a derived class with only one base class, is called as single inheritance. I hope this one is clear. Now let's move to the second one, which is multiple. Now multiple says that a derived class with multiple base class is called multiple inheritance. A derived class with multiple base class. Now let's say here are two, oh my God. Let's say here are two base classes, for example, A and B, and C is a derived class. Let's say base class 1 and base class 2. And there is a derived class. See, there is a derived class. Now let's see the syntax for multiple. The syntax is derived, D-E-R, derived class, access method, base, base class 1 and comma, base class 2. So this is the syntax. This is the syntax, and so is this. This is the syntax for single. This is the syntax for multiple. As one single derived class has multiple parents, that is parent 1, that is class 1, and class 2, base class 1, base class 2, and derived class is 1. So that is the reason why we call it as multiple. Let's move into the third one. The third one is multi-level inheritance. Now, in multi-level inheritance, a mechanism of deriving a class from another derived class is known as multiple inheritance. Let me repeat myself again. The mechanism of deriving a class from another derived class is known as multi-level inheritance. For example, let's say there is a for example, base class. Here, let's say we derive class 1, derived class 2. Here in multi-level, let's say there is a base class and the class 1 is derived from the base class, which is clear. Now, the derived class 2 is derived from the class 1 and not from the base class. Let me repeat myself again. Let me make myself clear. There is a base class. Class number 1 is derived from the base class, but class 2 is derived from the derived class 1. That is what makes the multi-level. You all can even understand multi-level in with the help of let's say family tree. For example, base class is our grandparents. The first derived are our parents and the second are we. That is the base class. Parents are derived from our grandparents and we are derived from our parents. That is what makes multi-level. Now let's see syntax for multi-level. Let's say derived class 1 access method base class, derived class 2 method. This is the syntax. Now this is the syntax for multi-level inheritance. I hope multi-level inheritance is clear. You can also remember multi-level inheritance as our grandparents being the very first class, our parents being the second class, and us being the third class. That is, the genes that our parents have or us we have are derived from our parents, and the genes that our parents have are derived from our grandparents. let us consider this as an example of multi-level inheritance, which will make it more clear. Let's remember the family tree for this. Now, the fourth type is hierarchical. Now, hierarchical is when multiple classes are derived from a single class, then it is called as hierarchical class. For example, us and our siblings. For example, class 1, parent class, derived class 2, and derived class 3. So the parent class is same and the derived class are derived from the base class. Let's consider it as our parent, that is the base class. The first derived class, let's be us, and the second be our siblings. So our parents are same. So that means our the base class is same. Let us consider this as an example of hierarchical. Now let me give you all the syntax of hierarchical. Let's say base class, mm, derived class, method, base class. This is for the first one, derived class, base class. Now let's say this is derived class 1 and the second one is derived class 2. Let us consider um, the hierarchical as our example, the multi-level as the example of the family tree. I think that will help you all understand inheritance much better and remember inheritance much better. The last one that is remaining is hybrid. Now, hybrid is basically using multiple types of inheritance is known as hybrid inheritance. For example, combining single plus multiple or single plus multi-level or single plus hierarchical or multi-level plus hierarchical or the either way around. That is what is hybrid inheritance. So there are basically four types of inheritance which you need to remember, and the fifth one you all can combine, thus becoming a hybrid inheritance. I hope the four inheritance, I hope that all five inheritance are clear. Make sure that it is clear as inheritance is an important topic in OOP. I will see in next lecture we will get codes on inheritance so that you all will understand inheritance much better with the help of codes. So let's stop for today. This much is enough for today. Make sure that you go through the inheritance. Make sure that you understand inheritance. What are the four types of inheritance? What are the total basic five types of inheritance? Let's do a quick revision. Uh, Sorry, let's do a quick revision. Single is when one single is derived from a parent class. Multiple is when a derived class is derived from multiple base class. Multi-level is, let's remember the family tree, where one parent class derives a child class and that child derives another child. And then the hierarchical, where multiple classes are defined from a single class, then it is called as hierarchical class. So that's it for today. Let's meet in next lectures. Thank you.